Here I am. I'm singing. We're starting Booch Ball and I'm singing.
Booch. We playing Booch Ball. Booch. We playing Booch Ball.
Smooth intro there. That was probably my fault.
Hello and welcome back to Booch Ball, the only podcast in your county talking kombucha and college sports. I'm Alex, joined as always by my lovely co-host Freed. How you doing over there, Freed?
Hanging in, dude. Another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise. And welcome back to the show for the second time this season. The one, the only, the doctor will see us now. It's Dr. Lauren Hershey Zimmerman. Welcome to the show, Lauren.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back. I noticed you said the only podcast in your county talking about Booch ball and college football. Booch and college football. Is that because you're getting some competition? People are seeing this hot market and entering the podcast sphere?
I wish I could say that. It's actually because I've run out of more globally focused. It used to be the most, I think it was like the only one in the country. Then it became the world. Then it became the knowable universe. Probably the galaxy was thrown in there a couple times as well. So I'm actually starting to go local. I'm thinking globally, but I'm acting locally. And so
all squares are rectangles, right? You're not wrong.
Yeah, exactly, Freed. Freed, you took the words out of my mouth with that. I was exactly what I was gonna say. And Lauren, you are you're dressed up today, not for Booch Ball, but for something else.
A wine release party.
A wine, which is a fermented beverage.
Yeah, I would say it's my second favorite type of fermented beverage.
Besides
Booch.
Yes, good answer. Wait, Lauren, you sent us a picture of one of your Seattle grocery stores where there was, speaking of wine, a Chardonnay kombucha, correct?
Yeah, I'm very intrigued and also horrified because I do love Chardonnay.
Did you purchase it?
No, I buy Booch Ball for. I keep saying Booch Ball. I buy kombucha for one occasion only, and that is Booch Ball.
Sounds like a missed opportunity. One of these Booches you're gonna fall in love with and start tasting on the reg.
See, I don't like cocktails like rum and Coke because I like Coca-Cola so much that adding rum just makes it bad. And I love Chardonnay, so I feel like adding some fermented tea is not going to improve Chardonnay.
Isn't Chardonnay more of a dry wine, like not that fruity?
Yeah, it can be like dry and oaky, or it can be buttery. And
Interesting you say that. I took the liberty to check out the ingredients in that Chardonnay kombucha because I was curious. And it's Chardonnay grape juice, and they add a little oak essence flavor somehow and vanilla essence flavor.
Do they add any butter?
No, it's not a pie.
you know, they
But
don't.
it's interesting
Lauren
that
said it was buttery, so I was just checking.
they added a little oakiness to try to get that wine taste in there.
I will say that Chardonnay does not become buttery because they add butter, nor does it become oaky.
Dude,
because they-
go on. Right, sure.
Hey, someone's got to add the oak essence,
guess.
whether it's the barrel or the
So
butcher.
where's the butter taste coming from? That check.
Yeah.
It's just so smooth. Smooth with it.
They are smooth with it. And speaking of being smooth with it, Mario Cristobal being smooth with it in his coaching hires and the transfer portal. Isn't that right, Freed?
That's right. You heard it here first last week on Booch Ball, or whenever this was. I guess it was last week. It was Wednesday night. Carson Beck hadn't even announced he was getting back from the draft. And right here on Booch Ball, I said, guys, this is happening. We're going to get Carson Beck. His girl is here. It's going to happen.
Lauren, did you listen to that episode? He did call it ahead of time.
I did listen.
She did. Shaking her head. All right.
But you did say, as soon as the news broke, Alex said in our group chat that you called it.
That's
So
true.
All right.
Yeah.
We get my credits
Well,
one way or
I told
another.
Freed I would do that because he frantically reached out to me saying, "Dude, you need to go back. You need to like get the episode and like clip the video of me saying that and tweet it out like right now." And I was like, first of all, Freed, you've already missed the opportunity because you calling it after it already happened is now besides
So
the
less
point.
cool than
And second
calling
of
it.
all, you want me to go back and find the video and edit it together and clip it and then put it on Twitter? Why am I in charge of that?
I sound like a broken record at this point, but this is why we need an intern.
And that's why I am happy to announce that Lauren Zimmerman has agreed to be. Well, Lauren, we're not going to have you as an intern, but we're floating the concept of you being a more regular potential. I don't want to say co-host because that almost puts her on the same level of us, Freed. But like whatever is like the rung below co-host in Booch Ball going forward. Lauren, are you interested in that, or are there any parts of the contract that we still need to hash out?
I will only agree to be an intern.
Perfect. That's a rung below the one I was offering you. You've played yourself.
Plenty of room to grow here on the charts. I think that's what you're going for. You want to be a high riser.
One day I'll be your audio engineer.
Yeah, and then Freed will be texting you at 9:00 at night asking to get videos out. All right, so Miami has a new defensive coordinator. We'll start with that. His name is Corey, and you're hearing it here first, Heatherman.
Heather or Heather?
Heatherman.
Heather.
Yeah, Corey Heatherman. And heather is a type of flower, I believe.
I think it's more like a grass.
I think it's more like a flower.
This is hard-hitting journalism.
Calluna vulgaris, common heather, is a low-growing evergreen shrub that does flower with pink. Has pink flowers. Flink powers. It has flink powers. It's a flowering shrub.
All right.
So we're kind of both right. I think I'm a little bit more right.
I would say grass is not right, but
Right. Which is what I'm saying. Yeah.
All right. We'll agree to disagree.
Okay, cool. So we have a new defensive coordinator. He comes over here from the Minnesota Gophers.
Oh, Minnesota.
A team which beat the Gator Tax Slayer Bowl champion Michigan.
No, Michigan beat them.
Oh, Michigan won?
Michigan won.
Oh, I thought you said okay. Well, which played a tight game again.
Well, I dug into the stats here. I went through it, and Heatherman and his defense held the Big Blue. Are you the Big Blue? Big Blue?
No, they're just
Not the
you
Big
just
Blue?
say Go Blue.
yeah.
They go blue.
The Wolverines.
Well, they held the maize and blue to 241 yards. That's pretty solid. I wish Miami could have held anybody for that this year. Maize. That's another grass, right?
That's corn.
Also wrong.
Talking about corn. For
One of these days it'll be your
I'm a
grass.
Booch
the
expert.
Native
not a
American
bomb.
word for corn. Yeah. So, but apparently he has like a top 10. Minnesota had like a top 10 defense this year. So I feel like we're all feeling pretty good about the pick until we're proved wrong inevitably, I guess. That's how it usually goes.
Yeah,
I heard that we wanted to get the Tennessee coach, but then he said no. And this was like our secondary option.
Tennessee's defense wasn't that amazing. I don't know. I didn't hear about that one, but I feel good about it. I don't know much about Mr. Heatherman, but he does have a track record of improving the schools that he goes to. He's had a bunch of different stops at lower levels. Minnesota was his first Power 5 gig, but he was there for 1 year and he made the defense better. So if he can come to Miami and make the defense better, that's a win.
I also heard him say that Mr. Heatherman is his father's name and that you should call him Corey.
Well, Corey, he's an intense dude. I would not want to run into him in
That's
a dark
Mr.
hallway.
Corey to you.
Yeah, Mr. Corey. Did you see the press conference? He's got eyes.
Yeah, he's an intense guy.
He's got eyes and a face
Yeah.
and
And no hair.
a lot of hair on his face.
Yeah, he does have a beard. So speaking of what's a way of saying speaking of what I was just talking about, which is what I'm doing here.
Anywho,
Keep
My
the conversation back on what I want to talk about.
Yeah, there you go. My dad is very into tennis, big tennis player. He's on the A team for our for the beach club that he's a part of, which is a
Oh, yeah.
pretty competitive league in Connecticut, I will say, as far as Connecticut goes for the 50 and plus community. But growing up, he always there were like 3 guys at the club that my dad truly respected as tennis players. And so any of the people that my dad truly respected, he would only refer to them and make sure that I referred to them as Mr. their full name. So Mr. John Hare and Mr. Harlan Stone were like the 2 guys that he'd be like, that's Mr. Harlan Stone.
but for everybody
To
else,
me.
you could just be like, "Hey, dude in the white
Yeah.
shirt."
Otherwise, it's just Dan Murphy or whoever it is, Jerry Nielsen, Mr. John Hare. That's how my dad. That's my dad's way of bestowing a kind of honor upon a great tennis player. So just a little fun fact, a little
We should
snippet
keep
from my
that
life.
trend for the Miami football team. Like, if a dude ever fumbles, back to his name, but a couple
Yeah.
touchdowns, and we'll give him that spect.
Well, hopefully we'll be calling him Mr. Carson Beck because we got a new quarterback, Lauren.
True. Facts. Very exciting. Fill
Lauren,
the hole.
You is
Cam Ward.
back, baby.
Lauren, holy shit! Wow, I
Just
didn't
come
even
up
think
with
about
that. I'm impressed.
No, somebody said that on Twitter.
Quick, somebody clip this and tweet it out.
Somebody said that on Twitter. I don't want this one.
The U is back. You also said Beck in my day. That's another one. I've seen a lot of stuff with like Carson was at Miami's beck and call when he did
Hannah
this.
Cavender's beck and call.
I think, yeah, that's true. So yeah, Carson Beck, who is famously, Lauren, do you know that who he's famously dating?
One of the twins on the basketball team.
That's right.
This season probably doesn't happen without that. I think that's a massive factor. I think it makes a lot of sense, though. He's probably making more money than he would be on his entire rookie contract had he been a 3rd round pick, which is probably a big ask to have him go higher than that coming off this injury and the way he finished the season. So he's making a lot of money,
and I can tell that he's smart because, as we all know from my own history, long distance relationships are not the way to go.
Yeah.
You should always, if given the option, you should try to, again, think globally, act locally.
You want your girl in your county, which is also where you want your Kombucha and College Football podcast.
I'm always saying this. I'm always saying that.
Wow.
Lauren, what I think might be helpful for your intake on this, input, not intake. Carson Beck, attractive?
Let me get a reminder of what he looks like.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Early returns, absolutely not. He's got
Can I
something
mention that
weird
he's
going on with that
6'4",
face.
230?
He is
Does that
6'4",
influence
230,
favoritism?
and he is rich, I guess. He has a Lamborghini.
Height only gets you so far.
I'm always saying that, too.
Have you
Him
seen
pulling
him
a
on the
Commander
sidelines
is-
with his cross eye black on?
Wait, what'd you say, Lauren, just now?
I'm saying him pulling a Cavender twin is a reach. Cavender? Sorry.
Yeah. Heatherman.
Pulling a Cavender twin is a reach even for a D1 star quarterback. That face has some dead eyes and some caveman eyebrows.
Do you think he's funny, maybe?
Has a quarterback ever been funny?
Aaron Rodgers, like, at it for a
Oh,
while was funny.
Was he trying to be?
Yeah. No, like, before he made his, like, heel turn, I think Aaron Rodgers was, like, a kind of funny kind of guy.
Peyton
I
Manning's
think
fun.
Joe Burrow is funny, right? Joe Burrow.
He's too handsome and talented. He's probably not that funny.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
I feel like Carson Beck looks like ugly Joe Burrow.
much uglier Joe Burrow, like inbred cousin of Joe Burrow.
Oh no. Yeah, so Lauren, I've been saying this for a while about Carson Beck, and I've actually picked against Georgia a couple times because I think he's so ugly.
I
So
think you guys are haters. I don't think he's ugly. I've said it before. He just looks a little sleepy. That's it.
he does look a little sleepy.
He looks like Steve Buscemi
Yeah, he looks like jacked Steve Buscemi.
with
Yeah.
tattoos and 6'5".
Jacked and tall Steve Buscemi. But if he drinks Booch, maybe, maybe I'll start to reconsider. And speaking of, it's time for the first segment of the show. It's time for us to tell you what we're drinking.
What we're drinking.
That's right, folks. We are here. I think this is going to be our final episode of Booch Ball for the football season, right?
Yeah, championship day.
Yeah, it's championship day. It's the last episode. And folks, it's kind of been an untraditional season because last year was our 4th year, so it made sense to have 4, and then we had like 2 versus 2. We had a playoff style, but then they expanded to 12 teams. It's the 5th season. It's kind of a strange thing to make it work. But here we are, season 5. We drank a couple kombuchas this year, and we kind of retried a couple kombuchas. So what we're doing is we're taking the top-rated kombuchas from this year, whether or not we've had them in the past, and we've ended up with 2 kombuchas that have never made it to the championship round, but are 2 very strong options. One is the Health Aid Pomegranate Blueberry, which, Freed, actually, we probably did this in the first season because for a while this was our top-rated kombucha. Or maybe we just never did a head-to-head matchup.
Let me see when the Health Aid Pomegranate came out.
Well, don't bother with that because we got a tight schedule here. So we're on the Health Aid kombucha,
It was seasonal.
pomegranate
It was
blueberry. But this is the thing. You can actually see on the label it says new and improved. So the big difference was that they added blueberry to it. So this technically is a new kombucha. And then we have an old favorite, I think also from the first season of Booch Ball. And this is the GT's Mystic Mango, which has always been a favorite of ours, but neither has been declared a clear champion. So those are the 2 kombuchas we will be drinking today. Lauren, have you ever come across either of these booches before?
I know that I've tried a Mystic Mango. I think maybe on this podcast,
I
but
think it was probably at a tailgate. I bet I brought one to a tailgate or something. Perhaps. Who
I
knows?
don't know how many tailgates we've all been at, but it's possible.
We were all at the Temple game, weren't we?
No,
Nope.
not Lauren. Well, Lauren, this is a booch that I often recommend as like an introductory booch.
Yeah.
Because it's the sweetest kombucha kind of on the market.
It's funny that you say that because
Yeah.
I was mentioning earlier offline that my doctor recommended that I have more probiotics in my diet, and I asked about kombucha, and he said that would be good as long as it's not too much sugar. And I'm looking at these, and the mango one has only 6% of your daily added sugars, 3 grams, and the Health Aid one has 28%, 14 grams of added sugars, which is a lot of sugar. This
Oh
is like
wow.
a soda.
Well, the total sugar is 18,
Yeah,
and the
the
total
total
sugars
sugars
of
are a bit
GTs
similar.
is 16.
And I guess it's coming from the mango then.
So I guess I'm confused as to what the 28% represents there.
Like sugar that they purely added in versus
Yeah, well, so it's a little complicated because in the kombucha making process, there is sugar added, but it's actually burnt up in the fermentation process to some extent. So my bet would be that the added sugar is from the fruit juice and the OG sugar is from the kombucha itself. But at the end of the
Interesting that
day,
the GTs has less sugar, even though it kind of comes across as a more of a sugary booch.
yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, whether you're getting it from your fruit juice or whether it's from the kombucha itself, it's not bad sugars. Especially GTs, they don't add pure sugar; they add kiwi juice to their culture.
Well, there's nothing less to do except to pop
And
this thing
sugar.
open. And we will be pouring them into 2 separate glasses here, live on Booch Ball. Shout
We've
out
got
to
kind of an
George.
Ohio State versus a Notre Dame thing going on. We got like this kind of dark red and a gold.
Oh yeah, Vic's a gold. Yeah, I guess we do. Shout out George Johnson for my nice new glasses that I got, helping him move. And let's. Does anybody have a coin or something like that we can flip to see who goes first? Don't all jump in at once.
No.
Boring.
All right, give me 1 sec. I'm gonna go grab one. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
So how annoying is it to work with Alex?
Oh, this isn't work. This is play. He's quite fun to play with.
Oh, you're supposed to talk shit.
What's up?
Nothing.
All right, we have ceremonial. Freed has the giant one. I forgot.
Mystic Mango was sold out in stores. I had to get
Freed
them
sent a
mad at
picture. Freed sent a picture of him holding this jumbo bottle, and I felt a visceral feeling of being sent a dick pic. It was
Just the
No,
hand size
look at it.
comparison.
All right, so the coin that we have today is from my trip to Banff, Canada. We've got Queen Elizabeth on one side, and we've got a picture of an elk on the other side. So, Lauren, in the air, either call out Queen Elizabeth or elk. 1, 2, 3.
elk.
Banff.
I'm sorry, it's Queen Elizabeth. The only problem is we didn't specify which was which. So let's do it again.
Wait,
And I think Queen Elizabeth is going to be Mystic Mango because it's gold like a crown. And then the elk will be the red like it's blood.
okay.
All right, Lauren, call it in the air. No, we're gonna do elk again.
Yeah, I was gonna call elk again.
What does Lauren calling it have to do with anything?
All right,
I don't know.
ready,
I
set.
just like to say the word elk.
She's like the team. It's like I'm the referee. Ready, set, go.
Elk.
And it's elk. All right, which means we will be drinking the Health Aid Pomegranate Blueberry first. Cheers and bottoms up and happy Booch Ball to you all.
I'm so used to smelling things before I taste them, and I need to stop doing that with kombucha.
You'll get used to it eventually. Don't worry. Right off the bat, it's a strong Booch. You can tell why it's in the championship of this season.
Though sorry, you go, Lauren.
I was just gonna say it's nice and like mild with some fruitiness without being too overpowering.
But also knowing how much added sugar is in it, I'm also noticing that it's very sweet. Surprisingly sweet for a Health Aid.
Most fruity kombuchas, you just get that. I do like how the pomegranate's earthiness balances the Booch. That's one thing that I like is it keeps it from being overly sweet when it's earthy. I think the addition of the blueberry has increased the sweetness, which maybe they're going to the layman palate. I don't think that it's improved the Health Aid pomegranate because that was a favorite of ours.
Even despite what the sticker says?
Despite what the sticker says, despite the lovey-dovey relationship of the blueberry riding the pomegranate.
There's a little blueberry, like a little blueberry child is riding the hair of the pomegranate, which is a parental figure. All pretty gender neutral, all of these berries and things.
I do like how, like you said, the hair, kind of the pomegranate cap.
Yeah.
I want to find the artist responsible for these and follow him on Twitter or something.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and take our next sip. It's now time for the Mystic Mango.
Hell yeah.
That's juice.
It's sparkly juice. It's kind of it's almost like Orangina vibes a little bit.
But it's mango-y.
Mm-hmm. What do you
Very
think of it, Lauren?
satisfying to listen to.
Can you hear the fermentation?
Can. I wonder if I turn my microphone up way up if you guys can hear it.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
Is that
think
the
they're
carbonation? Is that what we're hearing?
I think it's the carbonation. Is it carbonated?
Yeah.
Most kombucha should be a little bit carbonated, but the thing I like
If I
about
can, like, permanently lower my volume levels, am I coming out across the same volume as before?
yeah, you're good. You're pretty good. The thing I like about the Mystic Mango is just how mango-y it is. You get that flavor of a very ripe, juicy mango. Just
Mhm.
a hint of carbonation, just a hint, just enough.
Juicy.
It's just you can't really beat the taste of a ripe mango, and they're so hard to find. I feel like it's only 1 in 5 mangoes actually taste ripe, but GTs they get it every time.
It's a good point. I would say my favorite part about the GT Mystic Mango is the mystic part.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like this kombucha is about to read my aura and tell me my future.
Yeah, so speaking of, these are the words of enlightenment from this bottle. This is from Christopher Lundy, an artist from Hawaii. From Hawaii, Hawaii. Let me think of the voice I'm gonna do for this.
Do like really
Surfer dude,
low and sexual.
Samoan style.
I'm not gonna do Simone style.
Cancel him.
Love. No. Love is the force which binds all of creation, and the key which can unlock all doors. If you know what I mean.
The way you just raised your eyebrows for all doors made it sound like you're really trying to get in the back door, you know?
Now that's a word of enlightenment I can get behind. Literally. All right.
Man.
I think the Mystic Mango is taking the lead for me so far. Lauren, what are your thoughts?
I'm actually liking the pomegranate more. I feel like it's got its own flavor versus the mango. It's kind of like mango juice, but not quite as good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like
I
that
was,
rum and Coke thing.
yeah, I was just about to ask about that. Yeah, that is an interesting point. I do like. Actually, just recently ordered a rum and Coke, and I think it's the first time I did it since I was in college because that used to be my go-to drink in college. Because I don't know if you guys had this, but I wasn't really like a drinker in high school. So when I got to college, especially like going out like in like sophomore year, I remember like being at a bar, going up, and the bartender's like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, I, like it was like the what is it? What the fuck is our vice president's name? JD Vance. JD.
Not yet,
That's his name though, right?
JD. Yeah. I mean, he's changed his
Holy,
name like 3 times. So.
JD. What a dumbass name. Anyways, but you know, like when he goes to the donut shop and he's like,
Yeah.
whatever's normal, like whatever's a normal donut to get. That's what I was like as a sophomore in college, illegally going into Barracudas or something like that, in the Grove. But I used to go with rum and
Yes.
Coke. That's what I would get. What was your guys' like freshman, sophomore year drink of choice?
I think it was liquor to the face, and at a bar it was shots and then beer, and then when I finally learned what mixed drinks were, it was bourbon gingers.
Bourbon ginger. Yeah, I feel like I was on the rum and Coke train also as a
Bourbon ginger instead of a whiskey ginger.
I don't know.
haven't heard
It
of
just
bourbon
sounds better. I mean, it's just bourbon instead of whiskey. It's the same thing.
Well, whiskey ginger has like a whimsical kind of tilt to it. Whiskey ginger.
I don't know.
What about the moose juice from Mr. Moe's?
Yeah.
I got roofied from that one time. It was dead to me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, if there was a place to get roofied, that would be the place.
But
That's
here's
interesting. How did that go?
I was not the one who ordered that drink. It was one Sir Taylor McKillop who ordered the drink, and we shared it, and we both got roofied somehow.
Wait, no way. I don't know if I knew that.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, that sounds like a terrible story, but I just woke up with all of my clothes on, all of my makeup on, no recollection after like 2 sips of that moose juice.
Yeah.
But I was safe. But Someone was trying to get at Taylor McKillop that night.
Hell yeah, brother.
Oh yeah, brother.
Really? Interesting. Damn, that's crazy. Anyways, free
Did I
Deers
just
was the rum
ruin the
and
mood? Anyway,
coke. And so free Deers was rum and coke.
Yeah, much like you, I didn't really know what I was doing in the bar side of things.
I mostly just had roofies.
yeah.
Or as we called it in Miami, the Cuba Libre. Right?
that's rum and coke.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the mojitos at the Cuban restaurants that gave no efforts to ID. Like, was it Versailles? Yeah,
Cafe Versailles.
you could totally get pictures of mojitos there.
Mojitos, I think, are my favorite cocktail, but if you order them anywhere but Miami or the Caribbean, they're terrible.
Yeah.
Miami makes,
And they take forever too.
Yeah, well, they take forever everywhere if they're made correctly and they're pain in the ass,
But that is like a thing I feel like they're a thing that bartenders hate to make, like along with espresso martinis. Like if there's like a big order of mojitos.
yeah, you can batch espresso martinis. You cannot batch muddle with a bunch of mint.
True that. All right, folks, we've told you what we're drinking. We've got a head-to-head matchup between Health Aid, Pomegranate Blueberry, and the GT's Mystic Mango. It's now time for us to tell you what we're thinking. And Lauren, sorry, were you about to say something?
I was about to say something real dumb, so you continue.
No, you go.
If your pee looks like this, drink some water. If your pee looks like this, go to the ER.
And listeners, you'll never guess which one she held up.
Color, respectively.
Yeah, and this is not great for a podcast medium, huh?
Freed, I was gonna switch it around. All right, Lauren, we've heard that you have a game for us today.
I do. Since this is highbrow podcasting.
Sure.
In honor of the playoffs, we're gonna do Fuck, Marry, Kill with some college mascots of teams in the playoffs.
All right.
Of the playoff teams, I eliminated mascots that were actual animals because gross. And Notre Dame, their mascot is a human in a leprechaun costume, and that felt weird too. So no Notre Dame, no Georgia, no Tennessee, no SMU, and no Texas, unless you guys want to have sex with a Longhorn.
Okay, so the so the quasi thing that's going on here is that it has to be a human inside the costume.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that you took off was the one that was the most like a human.
I wanted you guys to be able to see these mascots as non-binary. Could be
So
could be a woman, could be a man.
I'm
But
confused here, though. We took out the animals, but we have a duck and a tiger. Are we saying?
No, but they're
it's gotta be humanoid.
It's not an actual bulldog or an actual longhorn. That's the
I see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're humanoid.
All right, so Lauren, give us the lineup here.
All right. First round, we have the tiger from Clemson, who looks a little bit like it just snorted 10 lines of cocaine.
Hey, Jake Hennessy just asked if the longhorn is single.
I'll send some inquiries.
Well, what we did find out is that longhorn male and female both have horns. So that's kind of fun.
Wow.
Speaking of being horny, Lauren, go on.
The Oregon duck from Oregon, which I will say has a nice big booty. And Sparky the Sun Devil from Arizona State. Fuck, marry, kill.
Okay. I think. Okay. All right. I think I got my answer.
All right, Alex, you go first.
Okay. I think I'm going to. I'm gonna fuck Sparky the Sun Devil.
Getting hot.
Because come on, he's got a trident.
Look at that.
Who knows what he can do with that tail?
Oh.
He just looks like a fun guy that you meet out one night and you have a fun little time with. I'm going to marry the Oregon Duck because I think the Oregon Duck has a good sense of humor, has a kind of like peppy attitude, is kind of like a fun. Would be I could see myself spending a life with the Oregon Duck and traveling around the country.
Would you
Um,
like to live in Oregon? It's a beautiful state. You'd be
yeah,
near
I think it
me.
would. I think it sounds very nice, and I think Oregon it's nice in general. And then I'm gonna kill the tiger, skin it, and then use it as a rug, and then fuck Sparky the Sun Devil on that rug, and vice versa.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I guess the
Telling
only thing
Kelsey
left
to
is
sit
for
down.
me to give my thoughts. I'm gonna fuck the tiger. I think the
Okay.
tiger just seems a little bit more cuddly. Like he could just kind of curl up into a ball and like do some good licking.
Mhm.
And I also am gonna marry the duck. The duck
Okay.
just seems like respectful,
Yeah.
like a good life partner.
I agree.
And I think the devil, the sun devil, first of all, I'm not really into big mustaches and like that, and the eyebrows.
No
Like, get your
goatees.
eyebrows done and then come back to me.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
But
little
yeah.
harder to see it as non-binary with the mustache.
yeah, I
Fair
just don't need. I don't need that temptation that the devil brings in my life.
Mm.
Yeah.
As I trend towards being closer to God, I can't have a sun devil on my arm and or crouch.
On your crotch. All right, very good. Yeah, yeah. I think that's what I was considering doing, Freed, but I I did not. I went the other way with it. All right. Good set. Lauren, do you have another slide or is this
I
the slide?
do.
Oh, you
Oh
do.
hell yeah!
Oh, let's go. Oh, and by the way, for the listeners, Lauren has made a PowerPoint that we're all watching right now.
This is
So if you want to
He's
go on
such
our
a good
YouTube
intern.
page, you
I was
can.
just about to say this is my application to being an intern. I made a PowerPoint.
This is great. Free. This is just what we need.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll start off the festivities on this episode. We have the Nittany Lion from Penn State.
Well, let Lauren read it.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
What's stealing my thunder?
Go ahead, Lauren.
PowerPoint.
Please.
I love making visual like visual aids for a podcast because it's very helpful for the listeners.
Freed, we finally got somebody to remodel our Boocha big board.
Hell yeah.
We need somebody to put all of our top Booches in order into a nice little thing. So, Lauren, I'll send that to you.
Okay.
We'll
All
talk
right.
offline.
For the last round of Fuck, Marry, Kill, we have the Nittany Lion from Penn State, who, similar to how the tiger from Clemson looked like it just did a couple lines of cocaine, the Nittany Lion looks like it's been on crystal meth for about 3 weeks now.
Leading the witness.
I'm not saying it wouldn't be a good fuck.
Okay.
Next is Brutus the Buckeye from Ohio State. I'll reserve my personal opinions on the matter. And lastly, Buster Bronco from Boise State. Freed, you go first this time.
Buster. Man. I wasn't too into the Bronco until I realized their name was Buster. You can fuck a Buster. I'm fucking Buster. And I think you guys are both probably going to agree with this one. But you're going to end up killing the Buckeye. I'm going to kill the Buckeye too because I'm marrying the Nittany Lion. That thing would, nobody would ever try to rob my house. We would be able to get in place for free, cut entire lines because what are you going to say to that thing? You'd be like, excuse me, man, you can't. And then the Nittany Lion just looks at you, say, oh, never mind. Never mind.
Solid logic. Personally, I would marry Buster because although people listening can't see this, Buster the Bronco has a really wonderful smile. And I think that'd be great to come home to every day.
This have good
Those
teeth.
baby blue eyes too.
Yeah. And the Nittany Lion looks like it's ready to eat your face off, which might be troubling for a long-term marriage.
I can see Alex being into that.
Lauren, you didn't give us your thing for last time, did you?
No, I don't really have opinions. This time I have opinions. But Alex, what is your fuck, marry, kill?
Okay. I am going to fuck the Nittany Lion from Penn State. Nittany Lion's kind of like fun and dangerous.
Ooh.
in a way. Kind of like a frat guy, something like that. And shockingly, I'm actually gonna marry Brutus the Buckeye and
you're
kill
dead to me.
Buster the Bronco.
You're dead to me.
There's something about Brutus, and it's something similar to the Oregon Duck, where there's something about the eyes and the smile
Safe and
that is
comforting.
just kind of like I can trust Brutus the Buckeye. It's not really a threatening mascot. And there's a tradition of excellence in that program. So I know that I'm attaching myself to kind of a high achiever that will push me to be better, and I can push them to be better. And what's more, it's kind of fun to have like an intermarriage rivalry, I think, sometimes. So I think that could be fun, like board games, like taking like someone's phone's going off. Is it Freed?
Oh, it's me. Sorry. I'm so
That's
sorry.
a $5. That's a fine.
Is this
That's
how I get
something.
rejected as an
This is your. It's
I'm on
definitely
Do Not
strike
Disturb.
one. It's strike one.
I'm so sorry.
Brutus the Buckeye, I'm going to marry, and then I hate to say it, but Buster Bronco. I just don't. I don't really know Buster Bronco. I didn't know that they had a Buster Bronco.
You're gonna look that beautiful horse in the eye and tell it you're gonna shoot it in the head.
And I'm
Look it
gonna
in the
feed its
mouth.
meat to the Nittany lion while we're fucking on the tiger rug. I would be in a polyamorous relationship with Brutus and the Oregon Duck.
Mm.
And the
I'll
Sun
take
Devils invited on Sundays.
Okay, well, things got weird. Let's
Is there
dial
another
it back
slide?
a little bit.
Is there another slide, Lauren?
No, that's it.
Well, Lauren, thank you as your first role as our intern.
Thank you. Did I get the job?
Absolutely, except for the whole phone thing.
They're calling again.
We're gonna put you on a what's it called when you put somebody on like a program, like a I don't know. It's something that like corporations do. If you know it in the comments, let me know.
Yeah,
You're on
I
a
know what you're
performance
talking
plan. You're on a performance plan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll do my best.
But you're still hired. You're still part of the team. All right, folks. We've told you what we're drinking. We've told you what we're thinking. It's now time for the third and final segment of the final episode of Booch Ball for the year. It's time for us to tell you who we're picking.
Who
we're picking?
Talk to me, Freed.
Well, there's only one game left in the season to pick. Ohio State and Notre Dame in the big dance. Notre Dame. Underdogs. 8.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's all.
Anything
I got.
else? Anything
That is
else to
all I
add?
got. I don't even know where this game's being played. Where's the game being played?
Is it Houston again?
I have no idea. It's got to be somewhere, right? Somewhere in somebody's county.
Somebody's county.
Is it in your home state of Texas, Freed?
Atlanta.
Hotlanta. You don't say. All right, in Atlanta, Ohio State favored by 8.5 points versus the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Lauren, who do you got in this one?
Everything in my soul tells me Notre Dame. My grandfather went there. They're nice people. And I hate Ohio State, but I think Ohio State is going to beat them by at least 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 touchdowns. So Lauren's picking Ohio State. Freed, this is exactly what you predicted, by the way.
Yeah. Once again,
Clip it.
cut it up.
Find the video.
Cut it up. But at the beginning of the playoffs, before the playoffs even started, was it before the playoffs even started, or I don't know. It was either before the playoffs even started or the After the first week, I said Notre Dame, Ohio State. I put a futures bet in on Notre Dame before the playoffs started. I've been riding them for the last few weeks of the season, saying they're going to be one of the last ones in with either Ohio State or Oregon, whoever won that game. And when I woke up and saw the spread was 9.5 points, I hammered Notre Dame, and I'm sticking with it.
All right. The Fighting Irish and Freed, I'm hammering them right there with you. I'm taking Notre Dame to at least cover this 8.5 point spread. I think Notre Dame's been this like weird sneaky team that nobody knows how good they are, and yeah, they've had a pretty easy path to the playoff, but hell, I think they'll be able to keep it competitive. And also I saw something online where somebody said that they would chop their dick off if Notre Dame won the national championship, and they said that midway through the season. And they since sent a follow-up saying that they actually would go through it if that were to happen. So
this sounds like the dog
so
food
excited?
fiasco.
Say it again, Lauren.
Is it because they're so excited about that possibility or so upset about the possibility?
Yeah, so upset. Or they were so confident it wouldn't happen. They were so confident Notre Dame wasn't good.
Well, if you recall, most of the season was marred by Florida State fans not eating the dog shit. So
right. Yeah. Which, to be fair, there's also a part of me that's like the increasingly ridiculous things that people will say on the internet and then not actually own up to it.
It was funny at first.
Yeah, I guess it's bad that I'm even giving anything to it, but
I think
don't know.
you dip the dog shit in chocolate and you just get it over with. You cover the dog shit in a lot of chocolate. You eat a small piece of dog shit, but you got to eat the dog shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Spoken like a man who's eaten actual dog shit before.
And baby shit.
Rules are rules. You like mild baby shit every once in a while.
All right, folks. Speaking of, it's now time for us to give. Jake is going off in the comments saying he would eat it for free. It's time for us to tell you who we're picking with the kombucha, the national championship of kombucha. Everybody go ahead and have one more little tiny sip of your booch.
Cheers.
And then we will make the call. Cheers. So, Lauren, you're going to give both of them a score out of 10, out to 1 decimal point. We're going to average. Oh, she's combining them. All right, and Freed, for the last time this season, do you want to tell us what the what our Booch rating is based off of?
Yeah, the Booch ratings are on a 1 to 10 scale, starting at 0 with the worst thing ever tasted and working its way all the way up to 10, the best thing ever.
That's right. And so, Lauren, just to give you a little bit, we have starting at a 5. We'll assume everything's a baseline 5. 5 is would drink it. 6 is would buy it. 7 is would recommend it. 8 is delicious. And 9 is amazing Booch, all the way up to 10, the best thing ever. So everybody take a moment. Think of what your score is.
You know, I might hedge my Notre Dame bet. Now that the spread's dropped from 9.5 down to 8.5, I might sprinkle a little on Ohio State just to, cover myself. And who knows, maybe they'll win by 9 and I'll win both bets.
Who knows? Uh-oh. That's strike 2, Lauren. All right.
Down.
Freed, do you have your scores?
I sure do.
All right. Go ahead and let us know.
Which one or both?
I want to hear both of them.
Healthy pomegranate blueberry. I'm going with a 6.9. I think that it's a strong kombucha, but I am just below that would recommend threshold. Definitely would drink it. We'll probably buy it every now and then, but I like the OG pomegranate. I think the blueberry's gotten just like a little too sweet, like we talked about.
Sure.
6.9. That's hot. That's fair. GT's Mystic Mango. This is in the upper echelon of all the kombuchas I've ever had, probably in my top 2 or 3 favorite kombuchas, and I'm going to give it an 8.7. It is delicious.
Wow, an 8.7, Freed. That's like one of your highest scores ever.
Playoff boost.
Lauren?
Wow, I gave it an 8.
No, I'll go, and then Lauren, you can be our decider. Actually, no, Lauren, you go first because I think this will make it more interesting.
Okay. because you know which one I prefer. It has maintained that I like the pomegranate, Health Aid pomegranate blueberry more. I really like how subtle it is. I feel like I could drink the actual full bottle versus most kombuchas where I cannot drink it all in one sitting. I give that an 8.6. Very good. I
Okay.
think maybe my favorite kombucha yet.
Okay.
And the Mystic Mango was good, but it was like mango with something a little bit worse than mango. But the mango's still so good that I'm giving it a 7.2.
Okay. 7.2. All right.
Mixed, pretty good.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting little color to it. Okay. For my scores, the Health Aid pomegranate blueberry. Yeah, pomegranate blueberry has been an interesting flavor for us. We've had an interesting relationship with it. The pomegranate has always kind of taken us a little bit by surprise through the years. I would say today, upon my first sip of it, I was actually a little bit underwhelmed. But as I kept drinking it, I understand what it's going for. It is it is a mild Booch. It is drinkable. But it doesn't have the kind of kick that I usually like to have in my kombucha, like that little tartness in there. But still a good boot. Still, I think for me, well within the would recommend range. And for that, I will give it a 7.5. And then the GT's Mystic Mango. And Fried, are you tabulating the scores so that we can get these all ready immediately after I'm
Yeah,
done?
of course. That's why I'm on mute. The
Okay,
championship is on the line right now, folks. What Alex gives this next kombucha will determine the champion of the 2024, 2025-ish, maybe, Booch Ball college football playoff.
All right.
Decided by the BBC, which is us.
And for me, the GT's Mystic Mango, there is just something mystic about this mango. I love mango flavored things. Lauren, I understand where you're coming from, where it's taking something like a mango juice and then, carbonating it and making it a little funky. That being said, I don't really drink mango juice normally. So this is really the only exposure to mango juice that I get. And seeing that I love kombucha and I love mango, it's going to be an 8.4 for me, right in that delicious range. Freed, ETF 5 bot, who is the champion this year? What is the final score?
The final score, Health Aid Pomegranate. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. 7.667. And GT's Mystic Mango. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. 8.1. GT's Mystic Mango's at the 20. It's at the 10. It's at the 5. GT's Mystic Mango could go all the way. Touchdown, Mystic Mango.
Do you believe in miracles? We have a new champion. Lauren, you'll get him next time.
Does that mean Notre Dame? Is Notre Dame the pick now? Notre Dame?
Yeah, that's what we picked. Wow, what a season it was. Season 5 of Booch Ball in the books. Dr. Lauren Zimmerman, thank you for joining us here. Do you have any parting words to us Boochies before you see them again real soon?
Please put in your words of what's your recommendation letters for me to maintain my status as an intern with this podcast, please. Please.
Don't worry, Lauren.
Where do they send that? You're not very reachable on any social media sites. You want to give out your email?
Yeah, it's boochballwannabe@gmail.com.
Rat doctor at.
All right,
Hey,
folks.
I have a comment. I think the people will want to know this, Alex. You actually gave the Mystic Mango an 8.4 earlier in the season as well. Consistent, and I gave it an 8.8. So we're very consistent on the.
That's why we're both
pomegranate
marriage
blueberry.
material, Freed.
You gave it an 8, and I gave it a 7.9. So we both tempered our expectations a little bit. And the last thing I had to say is sparkling, funky mango juice. Fuck yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Freed. To all of our loyal Boochies, thank you for joining us on another wild ride of Booch Ball, our 5th season. And what do you say, gang? 6 more years. 6 more years. 6 more years.
Years.
And maybe next time it'll be your tri-state area. The only podcast in whatever tri-state area you're in. I've said too much. Anyways, we love you. And as always,
Stay cultured. Peace.
play the music.